Well, good morning, everyone, and again, welcome to the Summit Alliance Advantage Thursday training. My name is Jason Martinez. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. Today, we're going to be going over the guaranteed issue products that we have. Of course, we have other carriers that have guaranteed products in their portfolio, but you want to be, competitive with your guaranteed issue products, especially your clients that are in that situation where they actually need a guaranteed issue product. And in most cases, it's because of a major medical challenge. And, a lot of times when people are experiencing or dealing with medical challenges, the budget's already tight. So, first off, you want to be in position to at least offer them something, some type of coverage. And at the same time, you want that to be one of the most competitive products out there. And, between these two carriers, these are some of the most competitive guaranteed issue products on the market, with Gerber and Great Western. And, they have very easy ways to get the clients covered. We'll go over what the guaranteed issue products are, how they work, taking the application, and also running quotes for those products as well. So, once again, also just having these products in your back pocket. You may catch yourself in a situation. Let's say you walk into an appointment, maybe a final expense appointment, and you run into medical challenges, maybe a wheelchair, due to amputation or something that would not normally be covered. Maybe just a recent diagnosis of some type of illness or disease, and in some cases, if you did not have these products, you'd be in a situation where you would have to tell the client, I'm sorry, I have nothing to cover you with. But with these products in your back pocket, you can provide coverage for them. You can, here's what we have to offer. Here's how it's going to work. And, just real quick, one of the things that I do, if I have to make that pivot, I don't tell the client, I'm sorry, you do not qualify for this. Here's what you qualify for. I just simply tell the client, here's what you qualify for. And, one of the reasons I do that is, as soon as you tell the client, no, you don't qualify for this, but you do qualify for this, because as soon as you say that you don't qualify, everything else after that is over. If I don't qualify for this, then, I don't qualify. If anything you say after that's not going to help. But by letting them know that you do qualify for this, the guaranteed issue product, and kind of going into how that works, can be a benefit to you, because you don't have to leave the client uncovered. You don't have to walk away, knowing you were unable to do anything for the client. At least, you can cover those extreme medical challenges and put the clients in a very competitive situation. So we'll go ahead and kind of jump into that. And let's see if I can get there we go. Attached to the webinar, you'll notice there are handouts, and so feel free to download those at any time. You'll notice it has a little handout section there on the webinar, and this is one of the attachments. And this is just a brief 2-page kind of client brochure that talks about the benefits of the Gerber Life product, how it works, and which we'll get into here shortly. But so you can download and have that. There's also an agent guide attached. There's also a rate card attached. Now there is 5 attachments. You'll find that 3 of the attachments are for Gerber, and the other 2 attachments are for Great Western. So we're going to be going over both of those products today. So just know that you can go ahead and download those attachments, and this is just kind of what one of them looks like here. The Gerber Guaranteed Issue Plan, again, it's a plan that you can put in place, for clients that have been turned down. Just as highlighted there on the first bullet point, regardless of your health, you can't be turned down. It provides up to $25,000 in coverage, and it can go, and it starts at $5,000. So from $5,000 to $25,000, and from ages 50 to 80. Now, kind of keep that in mind. This is where, Great Western will differ a little bit, which we'll get into, but Gerber covers from ages 50 to 80, and also from $5,000 to $25,000. So those 2 things take note of. The application process, of course, is simple and easy. Of course, there's no medical exam for this coverage because it is a guaranteed issue product. As a matter of fact, there are no health questions. As it states, your acceptance, regardless of your health, is guaranteed. Spouse, if from 50 to 80, can also get the up to $25,000 in guaranteed issue coverage. It does build cash value that can be used. Now, again, what it's designed for, it builds very minimal cash value very slowly. If a client's in this situation, unfortunately, a strong cash value building policy is not going to be an option, but at least they can put something in place that's going to provide some type of financial resources, when the time comes. And, even as the policy states, and, how they're able to do that, how are they able to cover, someone that's just been diagnosed with, say, a terminal illness? Well, basically, it's a 2-year graded death benefit limitation to the policy. So how it works, if a death occurs within the first 2 years of the policy, for any reason other than an accident, all of the premiums that were paid will be returned to the beneficiary plus 10% interest earned on the premiums. So if they paid $1,000 in premiums for the coverage, that their family's going to get $1,000 back plus $100, so they'll get $1,100 back because they're going to get the 10% interest that they earned. So, and that's within the first 2 years. Now, if a death occurs due to an accident during the first 2 years, they're going to get the full death benefit. So, it still has the, ability to pay the full death benefit, if the death occurs due to an accident during the first 2 years. Now, after the first 2 years, it pays full death benefit. So, if your client's in a situation and they're looking to leave their family a little bit of money, and you've been diagnosed with something that causes them to be uninsurable with other carriers, well, you have a great product they can pay for. They can get, they know they're leaving money to their family, or they want to leave something, they can leave it through insurance. And, so another way to get them covered with some type of insurance policy, that to leave a death benefit to their family. Now, again, basically during the first 2 years, unless it's due to an accident, it's going to return the premiums plus 10% interest. So I always like to make sure that my clients are aware of that, and that's how I explain it to them. When I let my clients know, okay, great, here's what you qualify for, based on, the answers to the medical questions that we've gone over, because remember, you're qualifying your client, before you give them price. So, based on the answers to the questions, your medical has directed us to this company. This company is going to give us the best option, for this medical challenge. And how it works, during the first 2 years, if anything happens, other than an accidental death, I'll explain it just as I did. Your family's going to get back that money plus 10%. So, again, putting your clients in a situation where they can get some type of coverage other than nothing at all. This is the Gerber rate card. Very easy to quote rates. Now, if you need other amounts like $7,000 or $12,000, you can simply just run through the formula. But this is kind of a quick quote card that they have. Now, in the download, there's 2 of these. One of them is for monthly ACH, which means it's on a monthly draft. The other one is referring to credit card premiums. Gerber's, there's very, very few carriers that accept credit card as payment. Gerber actually does as one, and so does Great Western. But again, that allows the client to pay, by credit card. But the premiums would be a little bit different, a little bit higher with paying through credit cards. So just keep that in mind when you download the rate card. And you're like, well, why is there 2 rate cards here? Because one's for the monthly draft, and it states that at the top, guaranteed life monthly ACH premium. So this is the rate card. Very easy to run the quote. You can see it has from ages 50 to 80, and then it has in the amounts and increments of 5,000 up from 5,000 up to 25,000 for both male and female. So again, very easy. Just look up the amount with the age, and you have the quote for your Gerber product. The application is easy as well. Again, there's no medical questions, so you simply fill out the client's information. Basic information: name, male, female, date of birth, social, address, contact information, then the amount of coverage that they're applying for. You notice they have the increments set up 5, 7, 10, 15. If it's different, then of course indicate accordingly. Ownership information, again, in most cases the insured is the owner. If someone else owns the policy, then you would fill out this portion accordingly. Beneficiary information, pretty basic here. The primary beneficiary's name and the relationship. So not much information required there. You know, does the proposed insured have other coverage? You know, of course, yes, you want to fill that out accordingly, and in most cases, it's going to be no. And then down below at the bottom of the page, acknowledgement of information provided. You're going to have the insured sign, and the owner if it's different than the insured. And then, of course, list the city and state at the bottom of the page. So very easy to fill out the application. The other page is just a notification page. This page here is just producer certification. You simply sign it and print your name and date it with answering the questions. And this is just a replacement. Now, if they do have existing insurance and you're not replacing, you still want to get this filled out and signed. Just indicate, no, you're not replacing. In most states, if a client has existing insurance, now not all states, but in most states, if a client has existing insurance, they do require the replacement form completed. Even if you're not replacing, just indicate accordingly, no, I'm not replacing. So very simple there. This is kind of a checklist for you. You know, we're not in the business of replacing policies unless it is in the absolute best interest of the client. In most cases, guaranteed issue is the last resort for the client, so it's not going to be a better benefit than what they currently have. So they always ask, you know, they want you to ask yourself, you know, are the premiums affordable? You know, could they change? Different things like that. They want to make sure that you're doing what's best for the client. And if you've seen any of our training, you know, I spend a little bit of time on all of our trainings about replacement because, again, we only do that if it's in the best interest of the client. You don't want to go in trying to replace someone that has an existing policy that's immediately in effect with a graded benefit policy. Again, we you know, have our client's best interest at heart, want to do what's best. So in most cases, you're not going to be replacing. But if they do have existing insurance, you will fill out the replacement form and just indicate, no, I'm not replacing. This is kind of the second page to that checklist. And again, this is nothing to leave with the client. This is just a checklist for you to make sure that you're doing what's right for the client. This is the payment authorization form. Again, you see down below, they can, if they want to pay with credit card or automatic checking there in the middle, which will be commonly used. Again, they want to get the best premium, they want to get the best price, and they can set it up on an easy monthly draft. So just fill out the information accordingly, name of the client, their address, you know, insured's name, which will, you know, more than likely be the same, you know, name of the bank, and then checking, and then the routing and account number, of course. This is just a signature page indicating, you know, the client's aware of the monthly premium, you know, you know, what's going to be drafted from their monthly bank account once the policy is approved. So make sure and have the client sign it and date it and indicate the amount of the premium here. So pretty basic there, as you can see, for the Gerber product. Now, when you go to run your quotes, you'll notice that Gerber is probably one of the most competitively priced. One of the things about Gerber, which you'll notice here, you know, again, as it goes from ages 50 to 80, amounts from 5,000 to 25,000. You may have clients that have, let's say, expanded needs. Now, with Great Western, they do have two products. They have their Assurance Plus, which actually pays 120% of the face amount. So if they get a $10,000 policy upon death, it would actually pay a $12,000. Then they also have the Guaranteed Assurance. This offers coverage regardless of your health, again, with absolutely no underwriting. It's very similar to the Gerber product, or just like the Gerber product. It's a completely guaranteed issue product. You're not required to answer health questions. And it works just the same. For accidental death in the first 2 years, it will pay the full amount. If it's a death and it's not due to an accident, then you know, you'll receive 110% of the premiums paid, basically saying the same thing. So you'll receive back the premiums that you paid plus 10%. So after the first 2 years, of course, you'll receive the full face amount of the policy. And again, no underwriting, no medical exam. As a matter of fact, no medical questions. And if you're applying for the Assurance Plus, then the coverage would be based on your answers to a few health questions. And that's if you want the policy to pay 120% of the death benefit. And we'll get into that here shortly. Here's the difference between the two, kind of next to each other. Again, Great Western has their final expense product. It's kind of a one-size-fits-all. So it has their Assurance Plus, which is an immediate death benefit. You can see they both have the same minimum face amount. They both have the maximum face amount. Now, here's where the Great Western product is a little bit different from Gerber. Notice the minimum face amount is only $1,000, whereas Gerber is $5,000. And notice the maximum is $40,000, whereas Gerber is $25,000. Also notice the ages from 40 to 80. You may have a client that's 45 years old that needs a guaranteed issue product. Well, unfortunately, Gerber would not work, but you do have the guaranteed assurance with Great Western. So again, knowing your products, knowing where you can fit people in can be a big benefit to you in making sure that you do not leave the kitchen table without your clients covered. Also, again, the death benefit, how it pays, I briefly covered that. The death benefit after months 25, the premiums that it pays, guaranteed, the client's premiums are never going to go up. They also have additional riders that are available, spousal bonus, included at no charge when both spouses apply for policies and both face amounts exceed $10,000. Accelerated death benefit, which is not available with the guaranteed assurance, but it is automatically included with the Assurance Plus. Then you also have the child grandchildren rider, which for an extra $1 per month on policies with a minimum of $5,000 face amount. So again, great products. Again, kind of a one-size-fits-all with extended parameters, as far as being able to cover clients, younger than 50, face amounts less than $5,000 and over $25,000. So again, another great product to have in your back pocket. As far as filling out the application, again, very simple, very easy application. Now, Part A, you'll notice client's basic information, name, address, date of birth, social security number, male, female, and email address if they have it. They also have the owner information. Again, you complete only if they're different than the insured. Now, notice Part C. In most cases, if you're using this product for the guaranteed issue, you do not need to answer these questions. Now, if you want to try to see if you can qualify them for the assurance policy, then again, you can see they have 3 very short questions. So if you can get no answers to those, then they can qualify, for the assurance product, which is the immediate level death benefit. If they answer yes to them, then of course that would mean they qualify for the assurance product, the graded policy, so the guaranteed death benefit. So there below, you'll see the policy information. Also just a quick note, if you're applying for the assurance and you want to make sure, and you get all no answers, make sure and list their primary care physician. That's required for the level death benefit. Now down below the policy information, this is where you're going to indicate the face amount, anywhere again from $1,000 to $40,000. The ultimate death benefit. Now, if your client qualifies, they get all no answers, then here, again, you can include the additional 20%. So again, the $10,000 would be $12,000. And then the payment mode, in most cases, it's going to be monthly. Again, you want to set your clients up on a monthly draft and the base premium amount. And, if they're adding any riders, then of course include that amount and then the total premium. So the base premium, if there are no riders, of course, would be the total premium. And then the base premium plus the cost of the $1 to add the children's rider, again, with your total premium. So pretty basic information here on filling out the Great Western application. The second page here, is just where you include the beneficiary information and then get signatures. So again, pretty basic here. Notice at the top, you'll include the insured's last name. Sometimes agents will forget that, so don't forget to fill that in. This is information on the accelerated death benefit. Again, if they qualified for the immediate death benefit product, able to answer no to all 3 of those questions, then they automatically get the accelerated death benefit that's automatically included, and this is just notification of that benefit that you can leave with them. Now, if they include the children or grandchildren rider, then you would want to fill this out. This is where you would gather the child's information. Of course, fill out the insured's information just the same, and then the child and grandchild rider information. And, again, list the name, date of birth, and then the, full name. You got room for 6 of them down there. If you need more than that, you can add. Down below the agreement, by signing below, of course, you can have the insured sign, make sure you include the date, city and state, and then you as the agent want to make sure and sign it as well. Notice it has replacement of insurance involved. Make sure and answer that. No, if you're not replacing. Again, in most cases, we're not going to be replacing with the guaranteed issue product in most cases. So indicate no, or yes if you are. Again, it may be in the best interest. Let's say they do qualify for the guaranteed immediate death benefit product and they currently have a graded death benefit product, then in that case you may end up replacing, so of course indicate accordingly. This is the premium withdrawal, basically the bank draft form. This is where you're going to put the billing information, again, client's name, payer information if different. Now if it's the same as the insured, you don't have to fill this out, the payer information portion, but of course you still have to fill out the bank account information, the name of the bank, if it's checking or savings, the routing and account number, and then also you'll notice that they accept credit card as well. Now what's a little unique about them, if you have a client that is receiving their Social Security benefits on a certain day of the month, and you notice down below you can indicate second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month. So that can help, assure that the client's premiums are going to be made. So just keep that in mind. And then down below is where you'll have the, the client sign for either the account holder or the card holder, and make sure and include their name and date. So pretty basic information there. This is the replacement form. Again, in most cases, you're going to indicate no, you're not replacing. Now, this is if they have existing insurance, this form has to be included, but just indicate no, you're not replacing. Now, if you are replacing, you'll indicate yes. You'll fill out the information in the middle, the insurer name, the insured's name, and the R for replacement. And then down below, just below 1, 2, and 3, make sure it says the existing policy or contract is being replaced because. Make sure you have a good reason, because again, we're not replacing policies if it is not in the best interest of the client. So after you complete that, make sure and sign it again. You sign it, you print, and date, and you're going to do that both the applicant and both the agent. Again, this is just a form very similar to the question form that Gerber had about replacement. This is kind of important for for you to understand. They want to make sure, again, that you're doing what's best for the client. They can afford the premiums, that you're not replacing when it shouldn't be replacing, and that it is in the best interest of the client if you are replacing. So just a simple reminder form checklist for yourself to make sure you're doing what's right. This is the rate chart for Great Western. Now, the rates are the same for both the immediate death benefit and the guaranteed death benefit. The difference, again, is the immediate death benefit includes the 20%. Remember, it pays 120% of the death benefit, whereas the guaranteed issue just pays what they apply for. So very simple to fill out rate. This is what it looks like. It also has an example there. This is what the example looks like. Basically, you take the face amount, divide it by 1,000, and then you multiply that by the annual premium and add the $35 policy fee. So in the example, if you have a 46-year-old female wanting $15,000 of coverage, for her to get $15,000, so we'll go back here. So we'll look up a female that's 46, and a female 46, you'll notice there is $52 per 1,000. So back to the example. So we'll take the $15,000 and we'll divide it by 1,000, so that gives us $15 or $15, and then we'll multiply that 15 times the per 1,000. So 15 times 52, because it's $52 per 1,000, which is $780. Then we add the policy fee, which is $815, so it's $815 a year, and then we simply divide that by 12, and that gives us the monthly premium. So very easy to fill out or to figure your client's rate with the Great Western chart here. And again, it gives that same example right next to where it gives the cost per 1,000. So just keep in mind, so for instance, if you have a person that's age 40 and they're male, it's $55 per unit, and the unit is 1,000. Same thing for female. If they're age 40, it's $44 per unit. So you can see the rates for females are less. And then, of course, you would use the formula accordingly based on how much coverage they were looking for. So, again, very simple to figure out the quoting Great Western utilizing the chart. And also keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier in the handouts, that chart that you just saw, this one here, is included in the handout. So make sure and download that. That way you have that readily available to get contracted or to run your quotes. Now, as far as getting contracted with these carriers, Gerber, in most cases, in most states, they require a piece of business to submit with your contracting. So if you have not contracted with them, not to worry, you can do that. You can still go out and get your client covered and submit that application with your contracting paperwork. If you do not have that, of course, just get in contact with us. We'll make sure that you have that information and for your state. And so you can reach me at jason@summitallianceadvantage.com. And again, note that under handout section of the webinar, you can download the documents that we went over and that I mentioned earlier, as far as the quote charts and the agent guide, and then also a little client brochure there. So I hope you found a new product that you can utilize in your portfolio. That way, again, you don't have to leave clients uncovered. Again, we have access to phenomenal carriers, phenomenal products. No matter what medical challenge that we run into, we always have a place that we can direct our clients and provide great coverage for them. So I want to thank everyone for attending the Guaranteed Issue training today with Summit Alliance Advantage. This is being recorded and will be available in the back office of our website, so make sure and register, and also to gain access to the other archived recorded webinars that are there for your knowledge purposes. So again, thank you for attending today's training.